Episode 6 begins with Yunbom telling Jaegyu, "I don't want to cross the line with you." Jaegyu says there must be a reason. Yunbom later recalls a past scene. She is at home. Arim's father calls her and asks, "How are you?" "I'm near your house." Yunbom asks, "How did you know I live here?" "Don't come here next time, or I'll report you." Arim's father says, "You said you like boys who take care of you." He then comes to the door and starts knocking. Yunbom gets scared. Yunbom tells Jaegyu, "When I came to Sinsu, I promised myself I wouldn't get involved with any parents here again." Jaegyu asks, "Do you think I'm Hangul's parent? If I weren't her uncle, would you cross the line with me?" Yunbom first denies it, then agrees. She asks Jaegyu if she's okay, then denies it again, then slaps her mouth, saying, "I don't know what happened to my mouth. I'm not saying all this." Jaegyu says, "Okay, I'll wait for you." Yunbom says, "What are you talking about? It'll take 2 years for Hangul to graduate." Jaegyu says, "I know, but I can wait for you, not just 2 years, but 30 years. Although I know we can't date. We can't hug. We can't do whatever couples do. But that's okay. I'll wait for you. When Hangul graduates, we'll meet again at this same place. Not as ordinary people, but as a couple." In the next scene, P looks at teacher Jin Hyung, who is practicing fighting. Haesik is nearby and asks him, "What are you doing?" Jaegyu isn't coming here anymore. Jin Hyung says, "What about you? What are you doing here? Go home and watch a drama." But Haesik had said that watching you is more fun than watching dramas. Just then, Sangite arrives. Haesik mistakes him for a student. But Sangite explains, "I'm a lawyer and work with Ijin. We recently transferred here." Later, he gives her sweets. He brings her to his office and tells her about the divorce. Ijin says, "I also got divorced around that time." They share many similarities. They laugh and shake hands. Jin Hyung, sitting nearby, sees all this and feels jealous because he likes Haesik. He tells Haesik, "Let's go." But Haesik refuses, saying she needs to talk to her friend more. Jin Hyung gets angry and runs away. The next scene shows Jaegyu at home, hanging a 620-day poster because he has to wait that long. Yunbom remembers how she said no one should know about what happened between them today. "I'm going to believe you." Jaegyu hears that woman calling him, but he doesn't pick up. However, the next scene reveals that she did. Yunbom is arriving at her school. But Jongpei and the other teachers are there, bringing her to a cafe. They show what's going on inside. We also see Jaegyu talking to that woman. That woman hands her a file and holds her hand. Yunbom, who is watching this live, is furious. Isu says, "This woman is the same one I saw earlier, and she was with Jaegyu. I told you about this." The teachers say, "This woman is very beautiful. She's also very lucky. She got this." Yunbom yells at her, saying, "If you have so much time, go to school and check the student records." Then, she returns home and looks at herself in the mirror. Yunbom says, "They said she's beautiful. Tomorrow I'll tell you what I can do." The next scene shows Jaegyu and Hangul eating. Jaegyu is asking Haningil how things are going with Seijin. Haningil later recalls a scene where Seijin said, "Do you like me? I saw the video of the game when I was winning. You were smiling. That must mean you like me. But a romantic thriller would be more appropriate between us." Haningil gets upset at the word, thriller, and says, "Why would I like you? I have a lot of girls in school who are crazy about me. She's prettier than you. And I wasn't smiling. I was laughing at you because you lost after all that." Jaegyu asks, "Haningil, why did you say that?" Haningil says, "I said, thriller, and it just slipped out of my mouth." Jaegyu tells him, "You shouldn't have said that. A man should be straightforward. Tell me how you feel." Haningil says, "What about you? How are things with Yunbom?" Jaegyu says he'll wait for 2 years. Hangul says everything changes in 2 years. But Jaegyu says he loves her. He likes her. That's the least he can do. Don't worry about it. In the next scene, the two are arriving at school. Hangul says he can carry his own bag. But Jaegyu doesn't listen. Just then, he sees several children nearby, surrounded by someone. She comes and sees Yunbom. Yunbom first talks to Hangul. Then, she looks at Jaegyu and says, "I want to ask you something." Jaegyu watches her closely. He's completely captivated by her face, but he doesn't do anything. He runs away. In the next scene, Jaegyu arrives at the fields. He's digging and says she's very beautiful. 3 grandmothers are nearby. They ask why Jaegyu is doing this. Dongyo's grandmother says that he must be having some bad thoughts in his mind, which is why he's digging. Jaegyu also tells himself, I can wait 2 years, no matter what. At night, they see Yunbom outside her house. She tries to open the lock, but it's broken like last time. Then she sees Jaegyu nearby. Jaegyu also sees this and is about to run away. But Yu stops him and says, I forgot to ask you that time. Why did you run away? My lock is broken again. Can you open it for me by jumping over the wall like last time? But Jaegyu doesn't do it. He runs away. Yunbom curses him. Jaegyu arrives at his house. He gives Hangul food and asks, when will you leave school? Can't you just get your certificate? But Hangul refuses. Jaegyu is asking if anyone has built a time machine. He starts explaining the laws of physics. Jaegyu says, leave it, I don't want to listen to you. Eunbom tries to climb the wall but can't. Just then, Eunjun is nearby, holding her leg and helping her. Eunbom comes in later. She opens the door from inside. She comes out, talks to Eunbom, and says, thank you for this. By the way, what are you doing here? Eunju told me I've moved here now. I'm a lawyer. Eunbom says, okay, do you have time this weekend? I want to talk to you about something. On the other side, we see Jaegyu meditating because he's been thinking about Eunbom repeatedly. He tries to calm himself down, but then Eunjun calls him. In the next scene, he meets Eunbom. Eunbom is handing over a certified letter. Jaegyu had promised earlier that he would not participate in the game. But he participated. Therefore, he will now be punished. Iju had written some things in the letter. Like you have to join the military. You have to call me honey. Some strange things like this happen. Jaegyu says that I cannot join the military, but I can call you honey. Later he calls her honey. Ijin gives him his business card and says that I am a lawyer here. If you ever need help, you can contact me. Jaegyu says that it is your right. You can live anywhere. It is your responsibility to choose. But if I commit a crime and even go to jail, then I will never take your help. Later he starts leaving. But then Yunbom calls Ijin and says, let's meet at the cafe. Jaegyu overhears their conversation. He approaches Ijin and asks, why is she calling you? But he doesn't say anything. Jaegyu returns to the fields and starts digging. In the next scene, we see Dongpyo's grandmother talking to him. She says, there's been a burglary at my house because the lock isn't working. Hasuk is nearby and says, Yunbom's lock isn't working either. I'll call her and tell her. She calls him, but Yunbom is at the cafe and doesn't pick up. Yunbom shows him some things meant for students in school and asks him about them. But Ijin says, you should see a professional for this. He takes advantage of all this to reveal the various cases he's taken from parents. Yunbom asks, why are you telling me all this? Ijin says, because I was showing off. I've lived it all. If something similar happens to you, let me know. I'll help you. They'll come out later to hang out. Yunbom thinks about something. She says, something happened to my friend. A student's teacher came into class and slapped her. He was about to say something, but then Yunbom sees several men standing outside her house. The police also arrive. She runs inside. They tell Yunbom that there's a thief inside. She comes inside. The police had caught someone. But it turns out to be Jaegyu. Jaegyu talks to Yunbom. The policeman asks, do you know him? She says, yes, and says, I can't tell if he's a thief or not. Jaegyu says, I stayed inside because today was my day to meet Bomsik. Have you forgotten? But she doesn't say anything. Just then, someone shouts outside, saying, the thief is here. Jaegyu comes running out again. It's a locksmith on his bike. Jaegyu sees him and says, come to me. He was looking at him with anger. The man gets scared and runs away. Even though he's handcuffed, he still runs at a high speed. The police are about to accompany him, but Iuzik says, don't go. We should use our minds instead of our powers. Later, a scene shows him that he hid his phone inside the bike while the biker was running away. Later, he shows them that the bike's location is here. Let's go now. Jaegyu is still chasing the biker. At one point, we see Principal Gawangshu, Jangup, and other teachers enjoying the fresh air. He says, look how calm Chinsu is. Everyone is happy here, but then Locksmith and Jaegyu come running over. A girl comes in front of the bike. So Locksmith suddenly applies the brakes. Jaegyu comes over to him. The biker was fighting. He pulls out his weapon, about to kill him. Jaegyu also runs along. The police and Yunbom arrive nearby. Jaegyu jumps. The weapon is now coming down from above. Jaegyu catches it in his hands. But in the next scene, we see Jaegyu in jail. Locksmith yells and says, "I didn't do anything." He looks at Hasu and says, "Someone told me to do all this." Then we go to the preview scene. We know Yunbom's lock was broken. So Hasu wants to get it replaced. Locksmith had come over and was changing it. However, she stops him and says, "I should talk to Yunbom first." She calls him, but he doesn't pick up. Locksmith says, "It needs to be changed, otherwise it won't work. I have to go somewhere else." Isu says, "Okay, you change it." In the next scene, Locksmith is alone here, changing it. But then Isu's twin is nearby, and they see him. They think he's a thief. The man removes the lock and goes to get a new one. But then in the next scene, Jag comes in and examines the lock. It's broken. He thinks something happened inside the house. He went to check on Bombshek. Isu's twin had already called the police. The police tell them it's just a misunderstanding. No one was hurt. But Locksmith says, "My hip is broken. It's hurting a lot." He was told to settle it, but he refuses. He asks why he ran. He explains how Jag was coming towards him, as if he were a lion, so why didn't he run? "He wanted to kill me. I got scared and ran away." Jaegyu is in jail. Yunbom comes over and says, "Why are you so careless? Why don't you use your mind? Look at Aijin, he's so good. He caught Locksmith using his mind." Jaegyu says, "Why are you comparing me to him? And I had to, because it's about you. If it happens again, I'll do it again. You were supposed to take care of Bombshek today, but I know what you were talking about at the cafe. You're not the same anymore." Yunbom later says, "What about you?" Then she starts talking about the woman. "What were you doing with her?" She was about to say all this, but then Aijin came in, gave Jaegyu his card, and said, "I'm a lawyer, you'll have to take my help." Jaegyu replied, "I've already said no, I won't take your help. I'll sleep in jail instead." Yunbom says nothing and leaves. That night, she's at home, mending the door. She thinks to herself, "What will happen to me if he goes to jail?" Jaegyu was sleeping in jail that night, and Yunbom was at her home. In the morning, Jaegyu is released. When she comes out, she sees Aijin standing there, claiming he helped her. The man brings her to his house, showing her a document, saying, "You have to settle. Sign it." Jaegyu replies, "I told you I wouldn't take your help. One thing is clear, I didn't hire you. You came to me. But why are you trying to help me?" He doesn't say anything. Jaegyu was about to sign, but then he stops and says, "I have something else to do first." Locke comes to the smith's shop so he can say sorry, but he's not there. Jaegyu says, "Sorry won't do. I should get him something else." Then he comes to the market, but sees Unbum in front of him. Unbum sees him but walks away, not talking. Unbum buys some bottles, but there are 5. Jaegyu says, "It's too heavy. How will you carry it?" But Unbum tells him to mind his own business. In the next scene, she's carrying it, but it's too heavy. She gets a new pot to replace the old one. But it's too heavy. It's about to fall down. But then Jaegyu comes and helps her. In the next scene, he's on the roof, changing the pot. Yunbum, sitting in the back, watches him and says, "Should I ask him who that woman is?" However, we also see some things lying around. The blanket had been blown over them. Jaegyu sees them and asks Yunbum what's underneath. Yunbum says, "There's nothing." Yunbum asks, "What did you do last weekend?" He tells her, but doesn't mention that woman. Yunbum says to herself, "I knew something was going on." Yunbum talks to Yunbum and says, "You're not the same as before. You've changed. You're behaving strangely." Yunbum asks, "What about you? You said you'd wait 2 years, but you haven't even waited 2 days." Yunbum says, "What are you talking about? I don't understand. Do you even know how hard I'm trying to control myself? It's so hard." Yunbum says, "Okay, if it's hard, then break the promise." Jaegyu says, "Do you even know what you're saying? Are you serious?" Yunbum says, "Yes." Jaegyu leaves later. On the way, he says to himself, "She said it so easily, break it." I think she doesn't like me. On the other side, he sees Yunbum, throwing away a blanket, and underneath it are several locks. He then flashes back to a past scene. She's in front of a locksmith's shop, waiting for him. Later, the man arrives, and they talk to him. She tells him to settle the matter. He's a good man, never doing bad things. But the man doesn't listen. She even kneels down, but the man doesn't care. Just then, Yunbum sees a singing actress nearby and asks her, "Are you a fan of hers?" The locksmith asks, "Who isn't? I wanted to buy tickets for concert, but they're booked." Yunbum remembers that her mother knows singing. She tells the man, "I can give you tickets, but you have to make a settlement." The man agrees. Yunbum calls her mother, but her parents are asleep. Nanny Jag arrives, shouting, "Yunbum is calling me." Jingyi tells her to pick up the call. Nanny does the same. Yunbum said what she wanted. "I want tickets." She then disconnects the call. Yunbum also tells the locksmith, "I'll buy all the locks you have, but you have to make a settlement." In the present, Jaegu arrives. At the locksmith is overjoyed with the tickets. Jaegu asks what happened. He explains everything. In the next scene, Jaegu runs to Yunbum and says he went to the locksmith. She told him everything. "Why did you do that?" Yunbum says, "I did it for me." But Jaegu says, "You're lying. Why did you kneel down for me? Why did you buy all those locks?" Yunbum later says, "You said you'd wait 2 years. But I saw you with that woman at the cafe. She held your hand. But I didn't even touch your nails, she was holding your hand." Jaegu says, "You're right, and honestly, I can't wait any longer." He then comes over and kisses her, and the episode ends. We'll meet in episode 7. Until then, bye. Like, share, comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel.